Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and today's album review will be a band that I used to listen to a lot when I was in high school, and that is The Subways. And the album of it is Young for Eternity. Now, while everybody else was listening to Blink 182, Good Charlotte, and Fall Out Boy, and all those mainstream bands, I was one of the very few people who found this hidden gem of a band, The Subways, and listened to them. This was my jam back when I was in high school, especially this album, Young for Eternity. The Subways are Billy, Charlotte, Billy on guitar, Charlotte on bass, and Josh on drums. And there are, I would say, the United Kingdom's version of Blink-182, but slightly heavier and a slightly more hard rock vibe to them, rather than Blink-182, which was punk pop. But this is still kind of a hard rock slash punk band slash pop band. The Subways, this album, The Subways, Young for Eternity, is probably my favorite out of them. They have four, the last time that I checked, four. The great tracks on this album is I Want to Hear What You Have Got to Say. Rock and Roll Queen is probably one of my favorite songs off this album.
My heart is blue. My heart is blue for you. Be my little rock and roll queen. Be my little rock and roll queen.
With You is another great song off this album. Actually, this entire album is really cool. Every time I listen to it, brings me back to the high school days when I was busy listening to this and everybody else was off listening to Blink-182, but I was a cool one listening to the Subways. I highly recommend you guys check these guys out. They're a great fucking band. Great band. Young for Eternity, I would rate 10 out of 10. I love the Subways. They're nostalgic in my opinion. They're a nostalgic band. I love how, as I said earlier, love how hard rock, they mix a hard rock vibe to them with poppy punk, which is a very unique sound.
I will keep you on my mind. It's your eyes that make me smile. Oh yeah. Wasted time hanging out. Oh yeah. These teenage years, well they don't last. Oh yeah. These teenage years, they speak too fast. Oh yeah.
The vocals, I'll be critic about one thing. I like Billy's vocal. Charlotte, you're beautiful. You're an awesome bass player, but the vocals. I mean, this is their first album, so they're still trying to figure out what they're trying to do, and they're a bunch of teenagers not knowing what they're doing. But nonetheless, Charlotte's vocals are a little weak, at least on this album. On other albums, her vocals are actually really good. But as I said, this is their first album. So, I'll cut them slack for having weak vocals. But nonetheless, great fucking album, great punk album, great pop slash fucking hard rock. I would strongly suggest you, my dear viewers, to check out the Subways. I love them. They're, like I said, nostalgia. So with that said, 10 out of 10, the Subways, Young for Eternity. Now, if you want to see me do a review on a band or an artist or an album, write down in the comments down below. Please write down in the comments down below. I'll go out and buy the album and I'll review them. And with that said, we all see you in the next video. So long, and thanks for all the fish.